Hi, I'm Dr. B, a scholar in the academic field of religion who also occasionally does travel content. I recently took a trip from Los Angeles to San Diego to attend the 2024 American Academy of Religion annual meeting. I have a slightly different version of this on my academic channel called 10 on Religion. If you'd like to see that, go check it out over there. For this channel, go ahead and hit that sub button so you can keep updated when I post my occasional travel videos. I traveled to the American Academy of Religion annual meeting in San Diego from November 22nd to the 25th. Since I already live in Southern California, I went by rail. I started my journey by taking the local commuter train system in the Los Angeles area called Metrolink to Los Angeles Union Station in downtown LA. The trains are nice, and it took a little over an hour to get there. Part of the train goes right next to the Interstate 10 freeway. As we arrived into town, the train slowly made its way next to and then over the Los Angeles River, and then slowly pulled into the station. The architecture in the main waiting hall is nice and holiday decorations were up. I walked through the underground passage and then up to the platform to wait for my Amtrak Pacific Surfliner train to San Diego. The Amtrak train I was on was coming from farther up north. It slowly pulled into the station. Amtrak uses special California cars for the Pacific Surfliner route, which can only be found in California. I went upstairs and found a seat by the window. After we left, we slowly pulled out and again went alongside the Los Angeles River. I realized I sat on the wrong side of the train because the right side will have the better views by the ocean later. You can see downtown LA in the distance as we headed towards the suburbs. I like the Fullerton station because it has a small train museum of old train cars you can visit. We passed by the area of the San Clemente landslide from May of 2023, and you can see the construction crews still working on reinforcing the landscape here. The ocean was on the other side of the train. We cruised along the Interstate 5 freeway for a while and eventually made our way down to the San Diego Old Town Station. We then slowly creeped in to the San Diego Santa Fe station next to a coaster commuter train. The Amtrak ride was less than 3 hours. I got off and walked the platform into the station and then walked about a half mile over to the Manchester Grand Hyatt Hotel. It was about a 15-minute wait to check in and then up to my room. I enjoyed the hotel room except for the connecting door. The view of the neighboring shopping area and bay was nice. I also liked the size of the desk area, which I used throughout the weekend. You can see it's good weather today. There's a military ship in the Navy base, and the Embassy Suites Hotel, which I've stayed at before. I then walked another half mile over to the San Diego Convention Center. This is the main hub for the AAR annual meeting with the exhibit hall, many of the sessions, and the registration area. I grabbed a lanyard and a badge holder for my pre-printed badge that I brought with me. I picked up my free tote bag and then headed back down the street to the Hyatt. After my first meeting session, I left the hotel with some colleagues and walked over to a Chinese restaurant for dinner together. The chicken fried rice was good and the tofu vegetable sizzling plate was great. After a long day, back to the hotel room for sleep. It's Saturday morning. Woke up and got ready to go. Down to the lobby on these smart elevators. To start off, I'm taking a stroll by the waterfront past part of the marina. Saw the Midway aircraft carrier exhibit. walked around the construction by Broadway Pier. I walked here because I'm checking out the Holland America Koningsdam cruise ship, which, as you can see, is in San Diego today. There's the Broadway Pier and the Midway that I just passed, and a Coast Guard ship. This is the Port of San Diego Cruise Ship Terminal. The reason I'm here looking at the Koningsdam, aside from it being a beautiful ship, is that my family has an Alaskan cruise planned on this ship next summer, leaving from Vancouver, British Columbia. So, when I found out it was going to be in San Diego on the same day as I was, I had to take a 15-minute walk over from my hotel to check it out. I think we're going to be happy on this ship next year. It looks great. One last look at the port and the ship. Now on to find a breakfast option. Walked over past the Santa Fe train station and got a better picture. Walked just past the station and found a bagel shop. What to get? My Western bagel with egg, cheese, bacon, peppers, onions, and chipotle mayo hit the spot for breakfast. I walked back to the Grand Hyatt to get some stuff and then started to head down the street towards the convention center. The famous San Diego Red trolleys are doing their thing this morning. I walked past the San Diego Marriott Marquis Marina Hotel. Never stayed here, but it looks nice too. Across the tracks from the convention center is the Hilton Gaslamp Quarter Hotel and the Omni Hotel. The San Diego Gaslamp Quarter is a touristy street with shops and restaurants with a very convenient location for convention center attendees. After my first long meeting, I got a little hungry and grabbed an overpriced chicken sandwich and fries from the convention center cafe. They weren't that good, and I never went back there to eat. Bruh. When the afternoon meetings were over, it was time for dinner. I walked a few blocks over to Tacos El Cabron, where I had eaten once before 5 years ago. They had a mini salsa bar, and the green tomatillo salsa was good, as were my 2 tacos. Good on the budget, too. After that, I wandered inside this Cali ice cream place, but didn't eat there. I instead went to Chocolate SD for some salted caramel gelato, and it was good.
Ah, this looks delicious.
Then over to the Hilton San Diego Bayfront Hotel for the American Academy of Religion presidential address by Jin Park, whom I interviewed on my TenOnReligion academic channel a few months ago. After leaving, I wanted to get another look at the entrance to the Gaslamp Quarter at night, which has the famous gas lamps, as you can see here. Then back to my hotel room for some much-needed sleep. It had rained a little bit overnight. I woke up and headed over to Richard Walker's Pancake House and waited in line for about 15 minutes as they prepared the outdoor seating area for customers. I got a short stack of Georgia pecan pancakes, which got my day started right. I had a nice stroll back to the hotel. Here's the trolley, Marriott Marquis, and the Grand Hyatt. Holiday decorations were now up in my hotel lobby. I went up to my floor and decided to quickly check out the pool deck. The pool had steam coming from it, so it must be heated. There's a nice view of Seaport Village from up here as well. The fitness center is also on this floor, and it's a good-sized space. Back to the room and finished getting ready for the day's activities, and then down to the lobby. Outside and down the street towards the convention center. Here's the Gaslamp Quarter across the street. Inside and to the book exhibit hall to grab a book I wanted to buy. I then headed over to the Hilton Bayfront across the street. It was a nice day outside today. After this meeting, I stepped out onto the balcony near there, which had a nice view of the convention center and harbor area. Then back down. It's very blue in here. Then to the street level. I went back in front of the convention center and across the street. Then walked a few blocks over to a Subway. There it is. And lunch it is. I walked back over to the convention center and tried to get a couple of shots before walking back across the street. I went to another session. Then it was back up the street to the Grand Hyatt for my last session of the day. After this session, I was hungry, so I walked up 5th Avenue into the Gas Lamp Quarter, and next to Giardelli's was The Melt. This place had good reviews, and I have to say it did not disappoint. I got the original Melt burger and Parmesan garlic fries. Very tasty, and I'd eat here again in a heartbeat. I walked next door to Giardelli's, but was too full for ice cream and resisted buying any of the chocolate. I went down the street in a souvenir shop for a San Diego hat and t-shirt, and then back to the hotel for the end of a football game before sleep. Monday morning, I woke up and got ready, then headed out of the hotel after dropping off my bag with the bellhop. The sun has a nice glow on the buildings this morning. When crossing the trolley tracks, I got a good picture of the Grand Hyatt Hotel's 2 towers, as well as the Marriott Marquis towers. Then into the Gas Lamp Quarter for Starbucks. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I do like their breakfast sandwiches. I got it to go and headed back to the convention center across the street. I went upstairs to the second level and took a look at some of the sessions being offered today. Then I found a perch to chillax and eat my sandwich. I went to a session on podcasting. Then time for lunch. I walked back over a few blocks past the Subway I ate at the day before because I found a taco place with good reviews called City Tacos. Here's the menu outside. I got a taco and a vegetarian bean dish, and both were great. It had a nice industrial vibe to it, and I would definitely come here again. While walking back, I got a picture of the Hilton Gas Lamp Quarter, which people said was a nice hotel also. Back across the street and into the convention center and upstairs one last time for my final session of this year's American Academy of Religion annual meeting. One last look at the book exhibit hall, and then I started on my way back to the Grand Hyatt Hotel. I talked to quite a number of people at this year's meeting, some of whom I already knew or have met before, as well as people I talked to for the first time. It was one of the better networking events for me to hopefully help grow my academic channel a little bit more over the next year. Now it was time to go back into the Hyatt for one last time, grab my bag, and start walking over to the Santa Fe train station. I walked by Kansas City Barbecue, where one of the scenes from the original Top Gun movie was filmed. I was going to get another bagel sandwich, but it was too late and they were already closed. So, into the train station. Sorry for my fingers here, I was pulling my suitcase in one hand and holding my phone in the other trying to get video clips. I found the line outside to wait to board the Amtrak train back up to LA. It finally pulled in on the last track. After all the people deboarded, it was time for us to board. Again, Amtrak uses special California cars on the Pacific Surfliner, which are unique to the system. It was a little bit of a walk a few cars up towards the front of the train. I stowed my bag at the end of the car in a luggage rack and then found a window seat on the ocean side. Soon we headed off, past the marina and the airport. It was tricky getting video because of the dirty window and the sun setting on this side of the train. Here's Mission Bay and the ocean. After about 3 hours, we got into Los Angeles Union Station, and I grabbed a Subway sandwich because there weren't many other great options open. Then I walked back down the underground passageway to track 10B for my Metrolink train back to my home station. I was a little early, so I ate my sandwich on the train platform. The doors finally opened, and I got in and was home about an hour later. I really enjoyed traveling by train to this year's meeting, and if you enjoyed this, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.